Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the singing of the national anthem by the class of 2022 Space Science major, Cadet Noguchi Uenwa.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly beheld at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare and the foes bursting in air gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, star, star, spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Yeah! Please be seated. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Department of Physics and Nuclear Engineering Graduation Awards Ceremony. The ceremony today is being held to honor the accomplishments of our determined graduates who, in their pursuit of excellence, have chosen to challenge themselves by not only attending the United States Military Academy, but by majoring in physics, nuclear engineering, and space science. Their accomplishments are truly amazing, and we should be proud to welcome them into the profession of arms as lieutenants in the United States Army. These graduates will go on to strengthen the Army as leaders of character. Their contribution to the freedom all American citizens enjoy should be applauded, and so we are gathered here today to recognize our graduates' accomplishments and to wish them well in their future endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Colonel John Hartke, head of the Department of Physics and Nuclear Engineering, for his opening remarks.
All right, for more than one of you, I didn't think this was going to happen. What's up, Aaron? No, look, it's a real honor and privilege to be able to stand here and welcome the PaNE family and see some of the parents that were able to join us in person. I'm sure the folks who are watching live stream hopefully get to join us later. And you know, that it's actually really great to be able to have some sense of normalcy again as we start to emerge from the COVID. And so I got like a million things running through my mind. I just came from the academic board meeting. So I literally came in, changed uniforms, and walked in here. At that meeting, so approximately 35 minutes ago, the members of the academic board voted to graduate and commission you. So what's going to happen when you get in the stadium? You know, there'll be you'll get your diplomas. The dean of the academic board will stand up in front of the entire assembly and say to the superintendent, the academic board finds you. I can't remember the exact words that he's going to use, but deem you qualified to be graduates of the United States Military Academy and commissioned second lieutenants of the United States Army. And we just did that, right? So we just did that, and that's one of the great things about being in this position, in this job, is I get to go and do that every year. And so that's pretty exciting. And then afterwards, you know, the Soup said a few things to those of us in the room. And one of the things that he said I want to share with you, and I've heard him say similar things before, is that your graduating class is making a strategic statement to the world. And that we're making the statement with that vote. The members of the academic board certified that you met all of the requirements physically, militarily, academically, that you demonstrated the resilience and fitness to lead America's most valuable treasure, her sons and daughters. and to defend her freedoms. And in today's environment, that probably means a little bit more than it has for some of the previous graduating classes. You know, what happened on 24 February changed the world. And so the other statement the superintendent made is that the world is watching. The world is watching us. And by that vote that occurred this morning, and what will happen in Michie Stadium on Saturday, we are making a statement to the world. Watch out, class 22 is on the way. Class of 22 is on the way. So it's a strategic statement to everyone watching that the U's are ready to take up the mantle of graduates, United States Military Academy, leader of character, second lieutenant, United States Army. And that cannot be overstated. Well, the other thing he said is, you know, that really that message is, be careful, we're going to kick your ass. And so we certified that you're able to do that this morning. And so I'm really proud to be here. And you know, Major Critchfield mentioned it. Your path through the academy is not the same as some of the other folks that are going to be sitting in the auditorium with you. Everyone's path through here is different. But when we get into Michie Stadium, yours is a little bit more different. You accepted, in my opinion, a greater challenge by deciding to major in physics, nuclear engineering, or space science. When you show up at your unit, or you start having conversations and say, oh, hey, Lieutenant, where'd you go to school? Oh, this little place up in the Hudson River, you know, a lot of granite, probably never heard of it before, called West Point. I'm like, oh, okay, what'd you major in? As soon as you say physics, nuclear engineering, or space science, you will, by definition, be the smartest person in the room. At least perceived. May not be true, but you will be perceived as the smartest person in the room, right? Because of the path you chose to take on as you came through this institution. And so for that, be very proud. And moms and dads, parents, friends of our graduates, they couldn't have done this without you. And your class in particular, there was probably a little more support from mom and dad when you were spending that semester in the basement or up in your room with the hoodie on, doing virtual classes, right? I mean, that was a different challenge that you rose to meet and then come back and lead, because by the time you came back, you were leaders in the Corps. And so you led the Corps out of COVID. And this year, you, as the first class, led us closer to normalcy. And that impact of your class will always be felt. And how you did that is going to definitely have the impact on the younger three classes now and how they lead. So you set the standards for that. So it's really exciting for me to be here and to sit up on the stage or up on the dais on Saturday. I would like it if, as you come by, you have the ability to give me a fist pump, do it. Now, I recognize you're going to be more worried about whose hand do I have to shake. Am I going to drop my diploma, right? Is General Milley going to, you know, what's he going to do, right? So all of that's going to be there, and I acknowledge it, I recognize it. So what I'd ask kind of today, right now, take a deep breath, let it out. All right, we got to do another one. Take a deep breath. All right, that 5 seconds is the last break you're going to get for the next 20 years. All right, game on now. All right, game on. Game on because, right, we're going to sprint to graduation, and I do believe, I said this before, I do believe we make grad week as hard as possible so you actually want to leave. So you're going to sprint through that, maybe take a few weeks off before you head off to Bolick, and then eventually meet your platoons. Because right now, somewhere in the world, there are 30-ish of America's finest waiting for you to be their leader. And they're going to look to you to know what to do next, how to behave, what to do, and how to act. And so don't ignore that responsibility. I know you won't. You're going to be awesome. The other thing I would offer to you, as PaNE alum, you are always have a home in the House of PaNE. Right? You will always be something special to us here at Bartlett Hall. Bartlett Hall has been around now 1911, I think was when it was first. The first half of the building, this part of the building, 1911. Right? There's no indications we're going to slide in the Hudson River anytime soon. Invite you back. Right? Please come back. Please come back and see us. Please come back. Let us know how you're doing. Let us know how things are going. We're tracking each and every one of you to come back as future faculty. Right? Like some of those captains and majors sitting in the back of the room who you had the opportunity to sit in class with. Your class holds a little special, something special to me, particularly this group. I think I taught more than a handful of you as plebes. Did I give you first semester or second semester? Was it first semester? Kafka, you were sleeping then during that time too? Was it first semester? Second semester? All right. So I had a bunch of you second semester, and then I've seen others of you throughout the time here. And I couldn't be more proud of what you've done as a group, what you've done as a class, what you've done individually. And we're looking forward to watching you go out and continue doing those great things. And to the moms and dads, brothers, sisters, boyfriends, girlfriends, all of the support staff, all the supporters of our graduates, you did good. You did good. You gave us something great to work with. We might have just put a little polish on it, but they wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you and what you did to prepare them to be here. So thank you for that. Thank you for sending us some great men and women who I have utmost confidence are going to go out and continue to do great things. All right. So now that we've taken our 5-second breath, it's time to get after it. All right. So I'm going to turn it over to Rich. All right. Congratulations.
Our first award this morning is the Lieutenant General Leslie R. Groves Award, presented to the cadet with the most outstanding performance in the nuclear engineering major. This award is named in honor of the Manhattan Project Director, Lieutenant General Leslie Groves. The grandson of Lieutenant General Groves, United States Army Major Retired Richard Groves, is unfortunately unable to attend today's ceremony, but he has prepared remarks for this occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Ken Allen, the Nuclear Engineering Program Director, who will read the remarks prepared by Major Retired Groves. Following these remarks, Colonel Pete Chapman, Deputy Head of the Department, will present the award.
Thanks. It's my honor to announce the award winner. It's in your program. It's Vincent Gaspari. And I'm going to read Dick Groves' remarks, and it's my honor to read his remarks. He is a very well-spoken, well-published author. So this is from Dick Groves. I regret not being able to join you today. I'd like to congratulate Vincent on his accomplishment, and I want to salute each of you for taking on nuclear engineering. 3 weeks from now will mark the anniversary of D-Day, on which Eisenhower, class of 1915, sent an invasive force of some 150,000 onto the beaches of Normandy, launching an offensive that would help finish Hitler 11 months later. That same month, June 1944, an army led by Leslie Groves, class of 1918, reached its peak strength of over 120,000 men and women, physicists and chemists, industrial engineers and builders, pushing to produce U-235 plutonium and to make the 2 bombs that 14 months later brought an end to a decade of global conflict in which more than 70 million died. Had the House of PaNE existed in 1944, had you graduated then, there's little doubt some of you would have been headed to Oak Ridge, Hanford, or Los Alamos to support work being done and directed by Lawrence, Fermi, Oppenheimer, and other luminaries. Graduates like you, second lieutenants, were recruited to work alongside young civilian scientists like Feynman. The average age of Oppenheimer's team at Los Alamos was 27. A few thoughts about the Manhattan Project. It's correctly described as an unprecedented collaboration of science and industry directed by the Army Corps of Engineers. It is remembered for the bomb, for Trinity and Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the arms race that followed and continues. But it also achieved the first chain reaction, built the first nuclear reactors, and helped launch big science and modern project management. FDR and those leading the Manhattan Project faced what they saw as an existential threat, the prospect of Hitler with the bomb. They responded by harnessing the energy of the atom as an explosive. Following the war, Manhattan's atomic pioneers hoped the atom would power the world. There have been some successes, but in general, I think they'd be disappointed in what they see some 80 years later. I often imagine a new Manhattan Project aimed at delivering safe nuclear energy to help address the existential threat facing your generation, climate change. The French did something like that in the 1970s, the Mesmer Plan. A decade later, they were getting 90% of their electricity from nuclear. Few Americans know that story. Finally, let me say, I hope that science you study becomes far more important in the decades ahead, and some of you get to play a part in tackling very big problems, using the knowledge you've begun to acquire here. Again, congratulations to Vincent and to each of you, and good luck. Dick Groves, class of 1975. On another note, Richard Groves, the author of the Pulitzer Prize-winning bestseller, The Making of the Atomic Bomb, has been kind enough to provide a signed copy of his book to Vincent. Thank you.
You're gonna need a helper.
Yeah, there's too much stuff.
So Vincent, we got racing for the atomic bomb. Wait, there's more. Now it can be told the story of the Manhattan Project. All right. There's still more.
There's more.
So we also have
For our next award, the Gerald Counts Award is presented to the cadet with the most outstanding performance in the physics major. This award is named for Brigadier General Gerald Counts, head of the Department of Physics from 1931 to 1946, and the Department of Physics and Chemistry from 1946 to 1957. The winner of the 2022 Gerald Counts Award is Boom Kim. The actual award will be presented tomorrow at the convocation, but please come down for a photo. The Sewell Tappan Team Award is presented to the cadet with the highest GPA in the nuclear engineering core engineering sequence. The winner of the 2022 Sewell Tappan Team Award is Travis Nichols. The actual award will be presented tomorrow at the convocation, and also I don't believe Travis is here. Let's give him a round of applause. For our next award, the Jackson Space Science Award is presented to the space science major with the highest quality point average in the space science courses. The award is named for Gary D. Jackson, Houston of 1966. We are fortunate to have an address prepared by Dr. Theodore Hill, Professor Emeritus of Mathematics at the Georgia Institute of Technology, who is a classmate of Gary Jackson. I'll play that video now.
Thank you for your kind invitation to participate in these ceremonies. Department faculty and staff, distinguished visitors, cadets, friends and family of cadets, and graduating firsties. It's my pleasure to announce the winner of the Jackson Space Science Award. This annual award is in memory of Gary Douglas Jackson, West Point class of 1966. Gary was both a dedicated soldier and a scholar with special interest in physics, and what's even more relevant to this award, to the then emerging field of space science, which had just been triggered by the sudden and surprising appearance of Sputnik. Above all, Gary was an adventurer. He prospected for gold in the Andes, and he hunted moose and mushrooms with equal enthusiasm. Even after suffering severe head wounds in combat in Vietnam, when Gary returned to the United States, he focused his energy on his love for the adventures of science. When he passed away unexpectedly at age 29, Gary was doing graduate work in nuclear engineering at Purdue University. The year before Gary and I met as plebe roommates, Gary had already been immersed on his own in high-tech physics and electronics. He invented and patented a device for timing mechanisms for satellites. The West Point Physics Department recognized his talents and at one point designed a special course just for him and one other of our classmates to study the then new technology on lasers. Just try to imagine that, quarter century before the internet, one of your cadet predecessors in the long gray line was already thinking about lasers and satellites, as well as leadership in combat. This award is intended to inspire future cadets to distinguish themselves, as Gary Jackson did, as both soldiers and scholars. And in particular, to help push back the frontiers in the stunning new era of space science.
I am very pleased to announce that the winner of the 2022 Jackson Space Science Award is Cadet Noah T. Cirillo. Congratulations, Cadet Cirillo.
At this time, I would like to highlight that several cadets from the class of 2022 have already received awards at a previous event. Those awardees are listed in your program, along with the description of the criteria for each award. I would like the following cadets to please stand in place to be recognized for these achievements. Please hold your applause until all cadets are named. Jacob Sapaya, Travis Afuso, Randy McKenzie, Boom Kim, Cameron Barlow, Luke Turner, Noah Cirillo, Vincent Gaspari, Michael Kaminsky, and Ramsey Robia. Well done. Please sit down. Now we will recognize the accomplishments within each program in sequence. Graduates, as your name is called, please come forward and remain until your entire program is complete. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Colonel Diana Laux, the Director of Advanced Physics.
To the graduating class of 2022, you should see the memento. So one of the things we ask the cadets to do every year is to provide us with both a candid shot as well as a nice professional shot. And these were the ones that they provided to us. And you can kind of see the diversity of their accomplishments, of their interests, of their smiles, and of just their overall character in the photos. One of the things we all know is that not just physics and space and nuclear in the department, but all of our family members are in the department. And we embrace the mantle of being scientists, both for the Army and As scientists, all of you cadets are naturally a curious bunch. You come into class every day and you ask probing questions. You sometimes leave enlightened, sometimes a little confused, and sometimes bewildered, but always you have maintained and even enhanced your natural curiosity about how the wicked world works. And we embrace that as well, and it actually helps to provide us motivation to come into class every morning to be able to facilitate the learning that you experienced while you were here. Together, you've embraced the mantle of a lifetime of pursuit of knowledge and the focus on constantly learning in a constantly evolving world. Simultaneously, you are scientists and artists. There are a number of musicians in the room. There are a number of artists, graphic artists. There are a number, I think, actors. There's just the wide spectrum of the liberal arts is represented, as well as the scientific aspect of things in here. You see physics and space in the everyday, but most of all, you have reminded me of lessons that I tried to learn as a child. You are true to yourselves. You embrace change. You follow your own path, but yet you are team players. You are respectful, smart Alex, always providing a laugh. You are humble and kind, bold and innovative. You are embraced the torture of a millennia of physics and space knowledge at way too early hours of the day and the wee hours of the night. Where we have failed, however, you will succeed by capitalizing on all of our lessons learned in a dynamic and evolving battlefield. Whether you stay in the Army long term, solve the world's technological challenges in or out of the armed services, or pursue a lifetime of service in support of or the global marketplace, or just the global community. We hope that you will remember your time with us and that you will return often to your rock-bound Highland home and the hallowed halls of Bartlett Hall. Thank you very much.
The Theodore H. Myman Award, given to the first group to successfully operate their open cavity laser and PH-485 lasers, is presented to Noguchi Fuhendwa and Marcus Hudgens. The Boltzmann Award, given to the cadet with the highest overall WPR average in PH-481 statistical physics, is presented to Boone Kim. The Faraday Award, given to the cadet with the highest WPR average in PH-486 experimental physics, is presented to Ezra Harris. The Hertha Spawner Award, given to the cadet with the highest T grade in PH-487 Advanced Quantum Mechanics, is presented to Boone Kim. We will now announce the graduates of the class of 2022 majoring in physics and physics with honors, and present them with a token gift to remind them of their accomplishments here at the U.S. Military Academy. As your name is called, please come forward and remain for a group photo. The graduates of the class of 2022 majoring in physics are Michael Altenberg, Wyatt Flynn, Michael Kaminsky, Brody Lowe, Tyler Radzovitz, and Luke Turner.
While we're passing this out, just so you know what they're getting actually a hard copy print of the memento, and then our physical science technicians got together and made them these little name tags, and you'll see a different name tag depending on their major and or their minor.
Special recognition goes to 5 cadets for graduating with honors. In addition to the major requirements, these cadets have achieved greater than a 3.0 in the core course curriculum, greater than a 3.5 in the major, and completed 2 courses beyond the 14-course major, to include conducting individual research. Graduates of the class of 2022 majoring in physics with honors are Adam Black, Christopher Burleson, Ezra Harris, Boone Kim, and Roger Yurg. Additionally, Christopher Burleson is being presented with orders for the additional skill identifier 3 Yankee Army Space Cadre for his completion of a space science major.
Okay, group photo. If there's any of the other advanced physics faculty in our lab staff who want to come in here and be part of the photo.
Dr. K.
Come on.
Those ladies are sitting there by themselves.
It's Dr. Harold.
There we go.
It's Dr. Harold.
You got it? You got it? Yes, and Crystal's back there. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Professor Allen.
All right, welcome. Let me start by thanking the soon-to-be graduates and families and friends who are viewing online to give me this opportunity to speak about the nuclear engineering majors from the class of 2022. It's been an amazing experience seeing them grow from our first interactions during their major sign-up in the spring of their plebe year to today. I'm appreciative of the opportunity to educate and mentor them over these past few years. When I think of our soon-to-be graduates from the class of 2022, I'm reminded of a saying that goes, contrary to popular belief, adversity doesn't develop character, it reveals it. I'm most struck by our common experience through the major emotional event that we all occurred in COVID. It was this class of nuclear engineers that I was teaching in March of 2020. I recall saying goodbye to them before spring break and let them know, kind of the common knowledge that I give them. I say, hey, stay out of trouble, enjoy your week, and be prepared for that big push when we get back from spring break. It was that following Wednesday when I started receiving word, maybe some changes to when we returned from spring break. This rapid thing called COVID was going around. On Thursday, we were informed the cadets would remain on spring break in their locations for 2 weeks to stop the spread of the virus. I was with the triathlon team like I always am in Arizona, so I was preoccupied with executing a plan of immediately sending 20 cadets, a coach, and 2 officers to the 4 Winds and closing out our trip early. It wasn't until I returned to New York on Saturday that the lingering uncertainty and the enormity of what we were facing started to hit. Our cadets were scattered across the country, and we were on a 2-week hold. I had numerous drops in my course, so I immediately planned on shifting the course requirements so we could finish in person. Within a week, that plan changed multiple times. It was soon apparent we were going online. The nuclear engineering cadets in the room were about to enter the most challenging portion of a difficult computational design course with the following issues. West Point was not prepared to go online. We were having to find a platform to do so. The cadets were not planning to go online. Many didn't have their computers with them. The primary computer code needed for the nuclear engineering course was MCMP, which is export controlled and can't be downloaded or installed remotely. The nuclear engineering program we had purchased virtual machine software and hardware, but we hadn't completed the installation and verification to allow cadets to use the export controlled software without having it installed on their personal computers. The cadets were in various time zones, and some were in locations where remote learning wasn't optimal. The families of the cadets were not prepared for their extended stay. I could keep going, but to paraphrase, I don't need to quote it to you. You were there when it was written. The class of 22 sits before you today, having endured the crucible that disrupted their plans, their education, and their lives. They missed classes, summer training, physical events, and social gatherings. They went from a 2-week delay to months until they returned. And when they returned, they were isolated, tested, quarantined, and challenged in ways unseen in the 200-year history of West Point. Charged with leading the Corps as second-class cadets, they were responsible for the enforcement of new standards while continuing to hold the values and principles of our academy and our profession. True to the expression, the many adversities they faced during the time at West Point didn't develop their character. The challenges did develop something equally important. Since the dawn of our nation, our Army has relied upon men and women who could think, react, and make difficult, correct decisions in the face of adversity. What you learn in any undergraduate institution has less to do with the coursework and more to do about the process of education. Sadly, I know that most of the cadets here won't remember how to do an MCMP input deck 6 months from now. There may be a few who would struggle to do so 6 days from now. However, the process of education has developed the problem-solving skills and created the future leaders sitting before you. They are charged with the welfare of our nation's most prized assets, the sons and daughters of the American public. The education process provided the tools to make sound decisions. The unmatched adversity they gained getting that education revealed their character to be worthy of making those decisions. I'm proud to add their names to the roster of graduates from our program, this department, and the academy. Thank you.
The Bohr Award, given to the cadet who submits the best ethics paper in any 400 nuclear engineering seminar, is presented to Amanda McDonough. The Teller Award, given to the cadet who earned the highest grade in NE 450, Nuclear Weapons and Weapon Effects, is presented to Travis Nichols, who is not present today. The Oppenheimer Award, given to the cadet with the best year-long design project in NE 495 and 496, Advanced Nuclear System Design, is presented to Vincent Gaspari. The Thomas Young Award, given to cadets for excellence in nuclear engineering research, is presented to Adam Black and Garrett Matthews. We will now announce the graduates of the class of 2022 majoring in nuclear engineering and nuclear engineering with honors, and present them with a token gift to remind them of their accomplishments here at the United States Military Academy. As your name is called, please come forward and remain for the group photo. The graduates of the class of 2022 majoring in nuclear engineering are Cameron Barlow, Andrew Dunham, Enrique Gonzalez, Michael Kafka, Thomas Lubnow, Joseph Maddock, Amanda McDonough, Isaiah Queen, Grant Raleigh, Luke Sanders, and Roger Yerger. Special recognition goes to 3 cadets who are graduating with honors. In addition to the major requirements, these cadets have achieved greater than a 3.0 in the core course curriculum, greater than a 3.5 in the major, and demonstrate excellence in academic endeavor by writing and presenting a research paper suitable for submission to an undergraduate level journal. Graduates of the class of 2022 majoring in nuclear engineering with honors are Vincent Gaspari, Garrett Matthews, and Valentina Vincent. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class of 2022 nuclear engineering majors. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Paula Fichetta, the Space Science Program Director.
Parents, grandparents, relatives, loyal friends, and graduates. I stand here to convey the Department of PaNE's farewell to the class of 2022 Space Science majors. I had the privilege to teach them 2 senior-level courses, observational astronomy and astrophysics. So they know me well. Before speaking about our distinguished graduates' accomplishments, I would like to tell you a thing or 2 about myself. I would like to introduce myself as someone who has a couple of pet peeves, as some professors you see in the movies do. For example, I really like quotation marks and air quotations. So I use air quotations in the speech to mark when I want to make a joke. And I have to mention that one of my colleagues once pointed out that in a 5-line email, I used 10 words in quotation marks. This brings me to my second pet peeve, which is PowerPoint presentation slides. According to BusinessInsider.com, August 25, 2017, universities should ban PowerPoint. It makes students stupid and professors boring. This is Business Insider opinion, not mine. My PowerPoint-supported classes are super exciting and educational. I estimate that our space science major graduates sitting here had enjoyed something on the order of 3,000 PowerPoint slides in my 2 classes. Rest assured, today I will only subject you to 2 PowerPoint slides. One you already see up there. What will be on the second slide? A couple of weeks ago, I sent out a survey asking the graduate class to predict what their future will bring. Meaning, what station in life they see themselves occupying in 20 years from now. Some submitted serious responses, some used their sense of humor. Trying to predict the future brings me to a quotation some attributed to Buckminster Fuller, of buckable inventor fame, the best way to predict the future is to design it. I'm afraid Mr. Fuller lifted this quotation with minor modifications from Honest Abe or Abraham Lincoln, who said, the best way to predict the future is to create it. Class of 2022, you're embarking upon designing and creating your future. Now back to my PowerPoint slide. What you will see on the slide are Photoshop images created by our space science lab technician, Mr. Gregory McGovero, who couldn't be here today because his son is also graduating on the same day. So let's make the results public. Please show the slide to the audience. If all goes as planned, in the next 20 years, when we reach 2042, the 50 graduating space science major of the class of 22 sitting in the audience, 2 of them, 3 of them graduating with honors, will have embraced the following life callings and professions. 3 Army generals, 2 astronauts, 2 Mars colonists, a laser technician, an amateur chef, a space shuttle pilot, a true crime podcast research assistant, a senator, an airspace engineer, a cybersecurity expert, and a doctor. Thus, it seems to me our future is secure. Now I would like to mention some of the accomplishments of the space science majors who graduate this Saturday. Nabuchi Buhenwa. To summarize Nabuchi's personality, she wants to do everything and she wants to do everything twice. Right after signing up for the space science major, Nabuchi surprised me, her academic advisor, by asking me to enroll her into a special topics course in English for the following reason. She was ready to write a book on philosophy. I do not think the book is quite complete, but I would like to receive a signed copy of it when it gets published. Focusing on science instead of writing a philosophy book, Nabuchi completed 4 semesters worth of individual research. One project she participated in was investigating trans-Neptunian objects in the Kuiper Belt. Her later work focused on analysis of lunar rock samples. She completed her research courses in a novel way, working online with research teams from other institutions while being supervised by someone local here at West Point. She's graduating with a space science major and a minor in regional studies with specialization in Africa. Nabuchi was selected to become a helicopter pilot. I would like to part with Nabuchi and the other majors by conveying the following thought. For the next few years, focus on the task on hand and don't let your mind wander. A Chinese Chen master who lived in the 12th century helps convey the message. If your mind isn't clouded by unnecessary things, then this is the best season of your life. Now, I would like to say farewell to several cadets known as the Backstreet Boys of astrophysics. Maestro, music. These cadets earned the moniker Backstreet Boys, or rather, Back Row Boys, because they sat in the back row of the class, furthest possible from the instructor, the board, and the presentation screen. Most of the time during class, they were diligently taking notes on their computers. I know that they were taking notes and paying attention as a space science minor who happened to be the regimental academic officer, one of the highest ranking cadets at the academy, told me so. I cannot doubt that the back row boys were paying attention as they were graduating as a group with a GPA average among the 6 of them of 3.43. I don't want to spoil surprises, You already seen that Noah Cirillo is going to basically win every single award in space science. So, but I would like to take this time to congratulate him from his accomplishments. Marcus Hudgens was a member of the lacrosse team. I vividly remember how enthusiastic Marcus was during nighttime labs in observational astronomy last semester. On the coldest night of the semester, during our longest lab down by the river, he did not even show up. Turned out he was out sick, not just sick and tired of lab, as I first assumed. John Johnson was the section marcher in astrophysics. He was very close to earning an A+ in this class. His homework was outstanding and he excelled on exams too. I believe that the reason his grade did not end up being an A+ is due to very tiny fluctuations in the cosmic microwave background. Nicholas Tavasoli was a latecomer to the space science major transferring from history. He had an extra large challenge to overcome to catch up with his peers due to his late enrollment. And catch up he did. Additionally, he completed a minor in cybersecurity. Another of his remarkable accomplishments is scoring as high on the major's field test in physics, a test like the GRE subject test, as our best physics majors. Hunter McCosh is graduating space science with honors, but he's not here today due to one of his hobbies, which is jumping out of perfectly good aircraft. Or, being a member of the parachute team. Randy McKenzie is the final Backstreet Boy. He also graduated space science with honors. In parallel to earning a degree in space science, he completed coursework to satisfy pre-med requirements. This means taking 6 additional courses to include research courses with the Department of Chemistry and Life Sciences. He also completed a space science individual research course, and Randy is planning to apply for graduate school very soon. Now, these are no longer Backstreet Boys, so don't get confused. Aaron Flowers, in addition to completing the requirements of the space science major, Cadet Flowers competed with the rifle team since 2019, earning an A+ in this year's Sandhurst competitions for his team. He also enrolled in 4 semesters worth of individual research on gravitational time dilation. He helped build payload components, including chip-scale atomic clocks, and launched these experiments with 3 high-altitude balloons. He was one of the recipients of an honorable mention in the student poster competition of 2021 at the national level at the Small Satellite Conference, winning a $850 prize. George Zink. George completed 6 semesters worth of individual research. He was a member of the gravitational time dilation research team as well. Alongside Cadet Flowers, he also won the student competition prize, and he pocketed $850. Cadet Zink also participated in observational astronomy research during 2019 when he imaged the transit of Mercury across the sun on 11 November 2019, which also happened to be Veterans Day. A third research project Cadet Zink participated in was in solid-state physics and was aimed at modeling the conductivity of 2-dimensional systems such as graphene and the dice lattice. Cadet Zink is graduating space science with the honors designation. He already applied for graduate school, which he plans to complete during his second lieutenant time. Sierra Gordon. Sierra hails from a military family. Her father is a senior non-commissioned officer. She arrived at USMA via the preparatory school. Her dream was to complete the space science major. She worked really hard to accomplish this dream. She persevered academically, improving her averages semester by semester, showing especially good progress in her STEM classes. I fondly remember the high quality and neatness of her homework assignments in space science classes. She is a member of the Society of Women Engineers and the Asian Pacific Forum. Francesco Latorre. Both his academic and military accomplishments are outstanding. One of the first cadets to participate in the annual Best Sapper competition and placing among the top contenders. Also a member of his company's Sandhurst team. Completed 6 semesters of individual research. Member of the parachute and competitive climbing team. A cadet capable of balancing a challenging academic course load and earning top military achievements. Anastasia Osborne. team captain of the rifle team, Anastasia has an exceptional ability to juggle a very busy schedule by finding time to complete extracurricular activities as well as individual research. Anastasia completed 7 semesters of academic research, taking the prize for the largest number of research courses completed by a space science major graduating this year. Josiah writes, in addition to earning a space science major, Josiah also completed a geography minor. He almost completed a second major in physics as well by taking 4 additional courses: intermediate quantum mechanics, statistical physics, advanced quantum mechanics, and a special topics physics course focusing on nuclear engineering. Josiah was a member of the fencing team. Jacob Sapaya, team captain and goalkeeper extraordinaire of the soccer team. He was just fractions of points away from earning a top honors in the space science major, and again, I attribute his failure to not earn it just because of the cosmic microwave background. He earned A+ in every single one of the space science courses and numerous other A's and A's+ in other courses. John Tyrell, he's the final graduate. John is a cadet dedicated to doing well academically. He completed the space science major with a robotic engineering core engineering sequence. He was planning to participate in individual research, but worried about the time commitment it requires and this interfering with his academic success. Still, he sometimes joined groups of research cadets in the observatory, and on numerous occasions he borrowed equipment and he performed astrophotography on his own on weekends. So now I would like to conclude with 2 quotations. One is from the valedictorian speaker at Miami Palmetto Senior High School, given by a student called Jeff Bezos. His 1982 vision for humanity was as follows: we have to go to space to save Earth. We kind of have to hurry. 40 years later, Jeff Bezos went to the edge of space. Class of 22 space science majors, you may also be destined to go to space, or if not, there are plentiful things to discover and experience here on Earth. Quoting Amy Poehler of Saturday Night Live and Park and Recreation fame, you never know what is around the corner unless you peek. Thank you for your attention. Congratulations for your accomplishments.
The Hubble Award, given to the cadet who achieves the highest grade in SP 474 Astrophysics, is presented to Noah Cirillo. The Thomas Young Award, given to cadets for excellence in space science research, is presented to Francesco Latour and Aidan Roberts. We will now announce the graduates of the class of 2022 majoring in space science and space science with honors, and present them with a token gift to remind them of their accomplishments here at the United States Military Academy. Lieutenant Colonel Will Cook will join Dr. Paquetta in honoring these graduates. As your name is called, please come forward and remain for a group photo. The graduates of the class of 2022 majoring in space science are Nobuchi Buhendwa, Noah Cirillo, Aaron Flowers, Sierra Gordon, Marcus Hudgens, John Johnson, Francesco Latour, Anastasia Osborne, Josiah Wrights, Jacob Sapaya, Nicholas Cavasoli, and John Tyrell. Special recognition goes out to 2 cadets who are graduating with honors. In addition to the major requirements, these cadets have achieved greater than a 3.0 in the core course curriculum, greater than a 3.5 in a major, and completed 2 courses beyond the 13-course major, to include conducting individual research. Graduates of the class of 2022 majoring in space science with honors are Hunter McCosh, Randy McKenzie, and George Zhang.
Since y'all have quite a bit more to take, we're going to spread y'all out along the road.
We will now recognize those who have earned Army credentialing as Army Space Cadre. Army Space Cadre are soldiers from any branch who have received space education and training and are able to perform space-related tasks and apply space capabilities in support of joint and Army operations. Army Space Cadre are identified by having the 3 Yankee Army Space Cadre Additional Skill Identifier recorded in the military personnel records. Army Space Cadre qualification at West Point requires cadets to complete the Space Science Major, Space Science Minor, the Geospatial Information Sciences Major, or to be a graduate of the Army Space Cadre course, basic course, held annually as the Space MIAD. In the West Point class of 2022, there are 55 graduates who earned the 3 Yankee Additional Skill Identifier across these categories. Permanent orders are being provided to each cadet who qualified. Each of the space science majors, as well as Christopher Burleson, are receiving ASI 3 Yankee orders. A special presentation by the Space and Missile Defense Command, SMDC, Space and High Altitude Research Center Director, Lieutenant Colonel Craig Boucher, present a 3-star congratulatory letter and SMDC coin to the graduating class of space science majors on behalf of Lieutenant General Daniel Carver, Commander, U.S. Army Space and Missile Defense Command, and Joint Functional Component Commander for Integrated Missile Defense. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class of 2022 space science majors. We will now recognize those who have earned Army credentialing as We will now recognize those who have earned not only the 3 Yankee Additional Skill Identifier, but also the Basic Army Space Badge. Would those pinning a recipient of the badge please come forward at this time if you've been designated as a pinner. The Army Space Badge recognizes soldiers of all ranks who qualify after meeting both education and experience requirements. Starting with the class of 2020, graduates of the Space MIAD who also complete either the Space Science Major or the Geospatial Information Sciences Major with coursework in astronautics and space physics meet those education and experience requirements. In the class of 2022, there are 18 graduates who earned the Basic Army Space Badge. Permanent orders, a certificate, and a basic Army space badge are being provided to each cadet who qualifies. At this time, go ahead and please pin the badges as well on the following recipients: Nabuchi Fuhenwa, Noah Cirillo, Aaron Flowers, Sierra Gordon, John Johnson, Francesco Latour, Hunter McCosh, Randy McKenzie, Anastasia Osborne, Jacob Sapaya, Nicholas Tabasoli, John Tyrell, and George Zhang.
Yeah, that looks with the airborne.
Looks good on you. Let's give him one more round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Colonel Hartkeys.
Woo! Maybe you are the smartest people in the room. Just saying. Very impressive. So just a couple notes about the space badge. This class, you all fought through COVID. The other thing that we were allowed, that meant many of you missed being able to do the Space Cadre Basic course during the COVID summer. Big thanks to Colonel Boucher and you really to General Carlin, U.S. Army Space and Missile Defense Command, who authorized us to run a special version of the course during this last term. And thanks to Anna for beating on me to make sure that that happened. We're extremely grateful because it's well-deserved, right? Well-deserved, and that recognition is going to go with you out to your unit. If you're an aviator, I would not wear those to flight school, just saying it out loud, right? I would wait until you get your other wings, and then you can put them both on, and then you get to decide which one goes on top, I guess. But I would just say, you know, there's a lot of greatness, and we as a department are very appreciative to U.S. Army Space and Missile Defense Command to enable us to do this and to create the space-aware officers that you're all going to be as we lead in that domain. Look, this is, as I sit here and I'm listening to the accomplishments and just remembering each one of you as you came up, you guys are pretty damn good. You're pretty special. And I'm extremely proud of you. I'm extremely proud that you had the opportunity to pass through this department. You took a harder path. And so we're looking forward to the next chapter, right? This is the start. This is the start. And as you head out to take command of your platoons, or lead your platoons, and do the things that Army's asking you to do, I think you're going to be awesome. So please, again, stay in touch with us. To the parents, friends, supporters, family, thank you for what you've done to get your graduate to this point. Enjoy the week. What's left of the week, all right? Enjoy Saturday. It's going to be hot. That'll be awesome. But, you know, get ready for the next thing. Now it's time to get ready for the next thing. And I know you're going to be great. So we're looking forward to tracking you, cheering you on from Bartlett Hall. The Army's a small place. We will absolutely see you. And at the place and time you're not expecting it, I will show up right behind you. I'll be like, I see what you're doing there. And it's awesome. So good. Thank you so much for joining us, and good luck the rest of the week. Enjoy graduation, and then get busy and take charge of those great soldiers. Turn it back over to Chris.
Before we head out, please rise for the playing of the Army song.
Beat Navy.
Award ceremony. Thank you for attending.
Woo!
There is a reception immediately following this down on the first floor on the north side of the building, that direction. We'll see you there.
Outside 171.